Hello. Did you do everything that you were supposed to do when transferring all of your stuff from Blackboard to Canvas? And yet your quizzes, they came over looking like they fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. Let's talk about it. Okay, first of all, let's go and make sure that you actually have new quizzes set up, that you have access to them. So you're going to go all the way down to settings. And we're going to go into our feature options. And I have, okay, so we have new quizzes here. It's not defaulting to them though. I'm gonna go ahead and default to them because the old classic quizzes is what the other one is called. Hate with a passion. They're ugly. And most of the quizzes that we imported from Blackboard, actually all of the quizzes that I imported from Blackboard tried to go into classic quizzes, and that's why they just didn't function. So what we're going to do is rebuild our quizzes so that they're beautiful and functional, and we're going to use new quizzes. That is what this user recommends. You can do whichever you want, but this is what this video is about. So if you're not interested in that, go ahead and stop this now and just delete this. So I'm in my master. I'm going to go to quizzes. Now, I don't have any quizzes yet, so I'm going to move this thing out the way and click new quiz. So it's already defaulted to, I already put a billion points in here. It's already defaulted to new quizzes. So it's using this Instructure product. It says it's an external tool. That's what new quizzes are. This is one of the issues. This is one of the reasons why it came over all wonky. So I'm going to call this vocab 6. And I'm going to just show you something that I did because I'm an extremely lazy person. And so I always try to find the easiest way to do something. So make sure it's in the quizzes category. And we're going to give it 1 million points because why not? You're going to want to put in a due date, and then we're going to hit build. Da, da, da. Okay, so we're building vocab 6. The first thing I want to tell you is whatever you put in the instructions, let's say you have timed vocab quizzes because it's an online class. You don't want people looking up, having unlimited time to just look up every single answer, right? So you put 20 minutes, 30 minutes on the timer. I'll show you how to do that. But what I want to tell you is whatever you put in the instructions, they can see before the timer starts. So if you have done like what I did originally and had to fix, if you put a word bank or something up here, they're going to be able to see that and look everything up before the quiz, which is not ideal. So just type something in here. Vocab. Okay, so once you hit this plus sign, it's going to show you all of the possible types of quiz questions you can possibly imagine. Okay. I'm not going to go through all of these. I feel like most of these are pretty self-explanatory. And also it would take me hours and hours if I showed you all of the things for all of these. But if you have a question about one of these that I'm not going to cover, just email me and I'll make you a video for it. What I'm focusing on is this stimulus. So I got really excited about this hotspot thing because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be able to put like a picture of a bunch of items and people are going to be able to click on like a pair of shoes and label that as a pair of shoes and then click on, a jacket and label that as a jacket. And that is not what this is. When you do the hotspot, you actually have to upload the picture for every time you want to ask them a question about it, which is not at all what I wanted to do. So I made my own kind of hotspot by using the stimulus. So if you use a stimulus, I'm going to walk you through it. You might hate it and not want to do it, and that's fine, but I'm going to show you how I manipulated Canvas so that I could be lazier. You have to have a title. So I'm doing vocab chapter 6. I'm just going to call this L6, Lección 6. Instructions are optional. I'm going to add stimulus content. I'm going to insert an image. I gotta upload an image because it's not in my course yet. And I'm gonna do vocab quiz chapter 6. So I'm using, oh my God, my dog's toes are so loud. I'm using this. This was actually, this is what I do in my face-to-face classes. I pull this slide up in my PowerPoint. Everybody takes out a sheet of paper. We get 4 or 5 minutes and there's a word bank and you label everything, you pass your papers up and then we go over it. So I thought, why can't I just do that in my online class too? So if we use this as our stimulus, we've got our word bank in here. This is why you don't want to put it in the instructions. And then you've got everything labeled and then students can go from there. So we'll submit that and I'll show you. Okay, now it looks like it's going to be way too small, but in your orientation options, we're going to put questions below. Now it's huge. Now it covers the whole screen. And then we're just going to click done. We have our stimulus item in there, and this is what's going to stimulate your students to refer back to answer the questions that we're going to attach. So it's important that you attach at least one question for the stimulus to actually appear. So what I wanted these students to do is look at the word bank and then label each item exactly as it appears in the word bank. That's what the instructions say, exactly as they appear, as in you have to spell it right, you have to accent mark it right, all that. So I had to fill in the blank. You never, ever have to have a question title. All you need is the question stem with your little back ticks. If you don't know where the back tick button is, it's like, it's all the way in the upper left of your keyboard next to the number 1. It took me forever to find it. So the first picture is, oh, good. It's the longest one. Perfect. So I'm going to type credit card in Espanol. No, I have to switch back and forth between my keyboards. So give me a second. Tarjeta de Spanish. Crédito. Back tick. That's it. That's what you want them to type. And you can leave it like that, but you're going to get a bunch of people that didn't capitalize that T and then yeah, so I'm going to specify correct answers. And I'm just going to say, you can also say tarjeta de crédito. But for me, I'm really big on making sure that you guys put the accent marks where they're supposed to be. This is a foreign language class, so if you're watching from a history class or an art class, I'm being real specific about this. But you can specify all the correct answers however you want. Make sure you change your points because it's going to default to 1. And I don't want this quiz to be worth 7 points. I want it to be worth, or sorry, I don't want the quiz to be worth 10 points. I want the entire quiz to be worth 100 points. It's totally up to you though. So then hit done. Da-da-da. Now there's our stimulus. There's our first question. We're going to attach another question and just do the same thing. It's fill in the blank. What's our second one? Caja. Regalo. So we're going to, again, don't need a question title. I'm going to switch back to my English keyboard. Regalo, back tick, back tick. I'm going to say, sure, you don't have to capitalize it. And I know it feels like a lot of work, but once you do it once, and you can just copy this forever and ever, amen. And points, done. And so we'll just do that for all 10 of them, and then you'll just post it. But I was going to show you, is it in the settings? Yeah. So we don't want to shuffle anything because these are labeled like 1, 2, 3 as in the in the image. So that would be weird if you did that. You can allow multiple attempts. I always set the time limit. If it's 10 questions, 20 minutes is more than enough. Students in my class get 5 minutes. I feel like they would scream at me in my online classes if I did that. So 20 minutes. And they know before they open it that they only have 20 minutes. So then they go, oh, let me not open this. Let me actually study. All right. So turn that back off. Return. But I wanted to show you also what this looks like on the student's side. But I'm going to show you in my actual class. So let's go to student view. Okay, for module 1, here is vocab 1. See, they know there's a time limit. They can see all of the instructions. So you definitely don't want to put your image up here. I'm going to take this late, but I'm going to click begin. I am a student. And here's what it looks like for me. I got my word bank. I got my images. And then I'm going to type. One is obviously, what is it, guys? La fotografía, no? So then we'll type it in there. They'll type all those in and then they'll submit. And it's beautiful. And that should be pretty much it, what I was going to show you about the quizzes. The main thing is that you want to make sure you're working in new quizzes. So if you didn't have it defaulted in your settings, I'll go back. Oh, shoot, I'm a student. Hang on. Let's say we don't have defaulted. Let's disable that. Then here's what it's going to look like to you. And you don't have to default it. You can keep your options open. We can date around. But so when you go to create a quiz, it's going to go, do you want to do new quizzes or classic quizzes? I'm not messing with this ever again. I did it years ago, and once I came out with new quizzes, I was like, hell yeah. So this is what we're doing. But unfortunately, when we imported stuff from Blackboard, it automatically did classic quizzes, and that's why we're having so many issues with the ugliness. You can also here, you can set the default, remember my choice for this course. So anyway, if you have any other questions, or if you want me to go through, any of the other quiz types, then I'm more than happy to. Just send me an email and say, I need you to make me a demo about this, and I will get it to you. Okie dokie.